So I was just reviewing the footage I just recorded, and I noticed that there's a silly piece of hair hanging in front of my forehead awkwardly, so never mind it. And I would refilm it, but my battery's about to die. And there's always some weird piece of hair hanging right here. I just don't know why it just doesn't stay back. I put hairspray in it, everything, and it just keeps falling forward. So I'm sorry, please forgive me, and enjoy the video and ignore the hair.
From space, the planet is the territory, not of humans, but of the whale.
Hello beautiful dreamers, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about possums. You heard me correct, possums. So I'm going to do a little story time here and tell you the time I took in 2 orphaned possums. Now I'm going to share the story with how they came into my care, and it's not very pleasant. It won't like it. I don't like it. I still can't believe this even happened, or someone could even do this to a possum. So my story begins with my brother-in-law who worked for the city cleaning up abandoned properties, you know, like mowing the grass and stuff like that. He said that his coworker was mowing the grass, and he saw a huge possum. I don't know how big, but he saw a mother possum, and she had babies on her. And so what this guy did was run down the possum with the lawnmower on purpose. Who could ever do such a thing? It's disgusting that someone could just, you know, on purpose hurt an animal. So my brother-in-law said the possum was killed, most of the babies were killed, but two little possums fell off and survived. So he took them home to me to take care of, and they were so tiny. They were about, I must say, about this big. They were already weaned, so, which was good because they were starting to eat on their own, though they were still eating formula that I gave them. What I did was I went to the store and bought canned formula and some little emergency bottles just in case they still needed the bottle. And at first I tried to bottle feed them, but they didn't want that. And so then I got a little dish and I put the formula in there, and they lapped it up. They loved it. So I had these possums for 3 days in total. Now it is illegal to own possums unless you have a license, and at least here in Texas it is. You can kill them if you want, you can hunt them, abuse them, shoot them, do anything, but you're not really allowed to help them. So we went online. It took about, it took about 2 days to find a possum rescue, which was a wildlife rescue, but they specialize in possums. So we found that about 2 days later, and then we made an appointment to drop them off. So I had them for a total of 3 days, and I took care of them. I fed them. I had a heating pad for them, and they slept with me. They were starting to get bonded with me, which is, that can't happen. They're most likely going to get released back into the wild once they're, what's that word, rehabilitated. So I love them so much. Possums are one of my favorite pets. One of my favorite pets. Possums are one of my favorite animals. I just adore them. They're not gross. They're not ugly. People say so many things about them that aren't true, kind of like rats. Rats have a bad reputation because they're rats. And when in reality they're very sweet and loving. So I have some photos that I'm going to show you, and a video clip I took when I was trying to feed the possums. You'll fall in love. I know I did. Okay, so about a year later, another possum came into my life. So I'm sliding down, I'm kneeling, and it keeps laying down. Another possum came into my life about a year later, and this one was much older, but maybe, I'm going to say under 6 months. Maybe, about 6 months. And this one was found by my other brother-in-law on the middle of the road, and it couldn't walk. So he brought it to me, because I'm the possum lady, and I examined the possum, and it didn't have no external injuries, but it had a hard time walking with its hind leg. It would try to walk and then fall over to its side. So thankfully, we still had the number for that wildlife rescue group. So the next day, the possum stayed the night with me. The next day we called and dropped the possum off. And the good thing about this place is that when you drop your possum off, or your wildlife creature, they give you an ID number so you can track the progress online. So you go to the website and enter the number they give you, and then there'll be updates on your possum or your creature. And then you'll see what happened to your creature, and if they were eventually released to the wild, or they're going to keep them because they couldn't be released back into the wild, which I really appreciate that they did that. So, let's see, about 6 months later, it wasn't a possum this time. My brother-in-law, who worked for the city, he brought me this poor rabbit. It was a bunny, about this big, very, very tiny, gorgeous, cute. And this one, the poor thing, this one was accidentally hit with a lawnmower. And you know how the rabbits have like their rump kind of rounded? The lawnmower, or was it, I think it was a lawnmower, the blade of it hit the rump of the rabbit, and all its fur and its skin, and you can see the muscle was cut into so deeply. And I tried to do what I could. I applied basic first aid care, because well, first of all, you asked me, why am I taking in all these animals? I studied to be a veterinary assistant, so I have some knowledge to take care of these animals. Though I'm not licensed to, I'm not a vet tech. I'm not licensed to do that, but I have completed the veterinary assistant programs. And so I took care of this rabbit as best as I could. And then we called the wildlife center, the same center we called, and they were about to close. And it's about 45 minutes away from where we lived at the time. So we called them and said, there's an emergency, we have this rabbit, it's badly injured, and they stayed open longer to meet us, and they took it. Now the thing with these wild rabbits is that they don't provide an ID because they get so many injured rabbits, so they don't update the person who found them on how the progress for the health is going. Alright, so that's my story, and I would love to foster possums one of these days. I actually got some information from the Wildlife Center, and they said first you start off fostering baby possums, and then you kind of like study under someone, I guess like an apprentice. So you're learning under them, and then eventually you get your license. They said it took about a year, I think. I would love to do this if I had space. And so yeah, that's my story. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to show you some cute photos, and I'm going to put in the footage right now.
I can get nothing out of this. You can get nothing out of this. I think I know what. Remember that little pool thing we have, the yellow one?
Yeah.
That one has one that's a little bigger than the middle. This one.
I think I need a bigger hole. It's not even coming out. It just drops.
The rope is so hard. You gotta perfectly come up without much effort.
This one needs a bigger hole.
You dripped on yourself. Dang, you got a big mouth. I can't sit.
Yeah, you got big mouth. Very big mouth.
Good luck on me.
Got him on. Ah!
Tell me its tail.
It won't come out.
Who wants to bite you or what? It's like this. Ah!
They have a strong suction. They should.
What were those ones called, Cindy, that we saw at the pet store one time? Remember? They're small.
You get one.
Try this one, see this one will work.
Nicole. That one?
No. Here it comes. Barely.
I guess you're walking with him.
Did we open his mouth? It's not strong enough.
It's not strong to eat.
Yeah, the nipple thing is strong to come out. They're really cold though.
You probably need to.
They can't regulate their heat yet. Bye. Needs to be bigger.
That one went in there.
So that is it for my little story time. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to read you some facts about possums that they have sent me. Alright, let me get my phone. Okay, because possums don't get the love or respect they deserve. When someone sees a possum, they think it's dirty, it's disgusting, it's full of germs and rabies. Get rid of it. Okay, so possums are 8 times less likely to carry rabies. This is due to their low body temperatures. And that also makes them immune to snake venom, such as rattlesnakes. Possums are smart. They did a test with food and a maze. And the possums were smarter than the rats, the cats, and the dogs when it came time to looking for their food through the maze. Now they're also good for your garden because they eat pest bugs like snails, slugs, and all those things you don't want in your garden. And possums do not sleep hanging by the tail. They can hang for short periods of time, but they don't sleep that way. They're too heavy. A possum has 50 teeth, though they'd rather not use them. They'd rather just leave them alone. They like to be left alone. They don't want to be bothered. They'd rather, run away or play dead than actually be aggressive and try to fight you. And I already said it's illegal to own them unless you have a license. But again, it's okay to hunt them, to kill them, do anything to them, but help them, that's very, very sad. Now, a possum is a natural sanitation worker. They clean up the dead carcasses on the road. They also eat the bones of the dead animals because they need calcium, and the way they do that is by eating the skeleton of the dead animal. Now most people think that possums go into their garbage, make a mess. A possum can't jump into the garbage. They're not good jumpers. So if you see a possum in your garbage that got there somehow, lay the garbage flat on the ground, let the possum come out on its own. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed those facts and that, you know, I have a love for possums so much. I love them almost as much as cats. But cats are still number one. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you for everything. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And my phone is ringing. Okay, so I hope you have a wonderful day. And remember that fish are friends and not food. So I know this isn't possum related, but I just wanted to add this little footage because my dad's dog, went to the vet the other day and he has hot spots. So he went for his wellness exam and to get his hot spots examined, and the vet gave him the most silliest haircut ever. So I'm gonna put the footage in so you can see it. Okay, that is the end of this video for real this time. Chauncey's at the vet.
Yeah, tell me the new look. The new look. Yeah.
He has shaved all the way to his tail because he has hot spots. He looks like a defeathered chicken.
That's more than just fleas, I think. He's never had it that bad. Poor guy.
He's tired.
Oh my God. No, you didn't get it real good. You need to stand up so you can.
He did. Chauncey, come stand up.
Come here, Chelsea.
Come on, stand up.
Come on. Come
Come
on.
on. Stand up.
Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go, Chelsea. Come on. Let's go. There you go. Oh my gosh. Oh, Chelsea, what did I do to you? Oh my. That new look.
Mm-hmm.